So, after teasing this collaboration for months, we finally got the confirmation that Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be a playable character in Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, thus adding yet another entry into the timeline of guest characters that are based on or are basically real people. Granted, it's not super common, but this has happened quite a number of times in the history of fighting games. In fact, we actually had an athlete as a guest character in a fighting game not that long ago, LeBron James, in Multiverses. Being that LeBron James and Cristiano Ronaldo are non-combat athletes, their inclusion into combat-centric games did make their appearances quite interesting. If you're curious as to whether or not fighting games have ever had a combat athlete as a guest character, that actually has happened. Specifically in the rather obscure Power Instinct Match Melee. There's a character by the name of Bobby Strong who's basically a cartoonish over-the-top reinterpretation of mixed martial artist Bobby Olagun. He wasn't the only person that got a cartoonified version of himself as a guest character in a fighting game, as most of you may recall, Norimaru from Marvel Super Heroes vs. Street Fighter. Initially, you may recall that this character only was limited to just the Japanese version of this game. Despite this, Norimaru was actually restored for the MVC Fighting Collection, which would make him playable outside of Japan officially for the first time. You want to know what other types of real-life people have been guest characters in fighting games? Politicians. I can think of 3 off the top of my head. In the now defunct Lost Media Street Fighter game Street Fighter Mouse Generation, there was a special event held during Valentine's Day of all things, which would lead to the inclusion of former President Barack Obama as a playable character. In this game, he's referred simply to as the President. Going back to the year 2000, we also had Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, referred to as Mr. President and the First Lady respectively, in Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2. And now that I mention it, I just realized there were 2 more real-life guest characters in that game. One of which, going back to what we were talking about earlier, was an athlete, Shaquille O'Neal. The 4th real-life guest character in this game was, of course, Michael Jackson, who not only allowed for his likeness to be used in the game, but also lent his voice to his own character, except he was speaking in a lower register than his usual speaking voice.
So you be bad, huh? I don't move over for no one.
Interesting. Know of any other fighting game guest characters that were or based on real people? Let me know in the comments below.